What is up, everybody? Back with some more Scarlet and Violet Regulation F VGC Wi-Fi battles. I actually got a really cool team that I currently made. We're going to be featuring today. It's actually a really cool Trick Room team. It's around Porygon 2 and a few other really cool stuff. Some returning mons like Primarina and Incineroar and a few other things that are really good under Trick Room that have kind of been standing the test of time throughout the entire game's lifespan up until this point. So, wanted to kind of showcase this team. I don't think this team's crazy good, like it's not like a championship type team, but I think as for a Trick Room team, I did a lot of testing with this team and I'm finally able to release this team to you guys if you guys want to play it. So we're going to break this team down. I'll break it down for you guys. We're going to hop in some games with this team. Before I get into this, if you guys just want to skip right to the matches and to the battles, I'll leave a timestamp on screen for you guys right now just to skip to the games because I will be doing an in-depth breakdown for this team and I'll be talking about it for quite a while at the start of the video. And if you guys want a Poke Paste for this team, I'll leave a Poke Paste. If you guys want to use this team on Showdown, down in the description down below, you guys can go check that out. Apart from that, I'm going to talk a little bit about this team real quick and then we'll hop into some games. This is actually a Trick Room team. I wanted to build another Trick Room team. It's been a while since I've made like anything around Trick Room. There's a lot of other really cool Trick Room mons in the game right now. The one being Primarina is something I kind of wanted to use. Same with Porygon 2. Porygon 2 has always been one of my favorite like Trick Room mons, just because the thing is so bulky and it's such a great mon. Got the Porygon 2 on this team with the Terra Go, so you're not really going to be Terraing this thing that much. The main stuff on this team that you're usually going to be using a Terra on, either is usually a defensive Terra on the Iron Hands or the Goodra, or like an offensive or like a defensive Terra on the Primarina. That type of thing, or once in a while the Sinistcha if you happen to bring it. Most of the time you're going to be bringing the Porygon 2 over the Sinistcha because the Porygon 2 is just way better type-wise to set up Trick Room and that type of thing, but once in a while you'll bring both just till you have the Trick Room up the entire game. And the Sinistcha is good for like stalling stuff out and that type of thing. So on the Porygon 2 I have max HP, I think 120 something defense and Spit F, with a minus speed plus, I think it's plus Spit F nature, I think it is. I think it's sassy nature on this thing. Tri-attack, recover, Trick Room, Ice Beam. Ice Beam is mainly just for Landorus, Landorus I, Landorus T. Really common right now. There's also a bunch of grass types like Rillaboom that gets hit for super effective damage. Dragon types like Raging Bolt, that type of thing, just for super effective damage. Flying types have kind of the gist there. Tri-attack's really good because it has a 30% chance to either burn, paralyze, or sleep your opponent. And considering you're a Porygon, you're not going to be dying very much. You're just able to spam that over and over, and it does solid damage. I opted for Trace on this Porygon as well because I think Trace is a little bit more useful right now with a lot of the really good abilities running around. Mainly being able to Trace like Intimidate, or there's a few other like abilities that can be really cool to actually try and kind of Trace too. So I kind of want to just run Trace. Currently, I've been having more success with Trace over like Download, which is not really controllable most of the time. It's more of like a random, if you get an attack or a special attack boost. So that's kind of why I ran Trace on this Porygon 2. I got this Incineroar, just a very standard set, max HP, I think 120 something defense, a little bit more in Spit F with like I think a plus Spit F minus speed nature with the Citrus Berry. I have the Terra Fire on this thing. You're not going to really be going for Terra on the Incineroar at all most of the time, so I didn't really pay like changing the Terra on the Incineroar at all, because you're not going to be wanting to waste a Terra on this thing. It's not meant for a Terra. So the Terra Fire is good if you want to do more damage, but as like a defensive Terra, it just gets rid of your fighting weakness most of the time, and I guess your neutral like resistance to Fairy, and you can be fully resistant to Fairy if you really need to, that type of thing. But overall it's a really standard set. AV Goodra with the Terra Water. Just ran a Solvis on the thing. It's actually max HP, max defense. The main thing with this Goodra is you're just able to sit there and just do solid amounts of damage over extended amounts of time, just because you just never die. You can't get critted with Shell Armor, and with how bulky you are on the physical and special side, it is really difficult to kill you. It really is. You have to have some really hard-hitting special or like physical mons to actually break through you. And you actually are really solid check to Urshifu because you can't get critted. So Surging Strikes doesn't crit you and it doesn't do really much damage to you at all. So same with, I think it's Dark Urshifu, you can't really use Wicked Blow because it doesn't crit. So it does a set amount of damage. Really cool. Same with the Terra Water, just kind of walls Urshifu pretty much. So it's a really solid Urshifu check on this team. I got the acid spray there just mainly for the -2 spit F drop. If you're going against something that's pretty bulky, just getting the -2 off on them without having like a priority move or anything is going to be pretty good, and it's considered attack still. A lot of people like to taunt the Goodra, think it's like a setup shelter, like body press set. So having the acid spray there and being able to still lower your opponent's stats could be still pretty good. Just gotta look out for like competitive and defiant, that type of stuff. But a lot of the stuff that has defiant and competitive are usually part steel type or don't get affected by poison type moves, so you don't really have to worry about it that much. And as I got dual stab with Muddy Water on there just for coverage. I got the Sinistcha on this team with max HP. I think it's in like about the same EV spread for like a lot of the other mons with like 120 something defense and spit F. Mainly just to get up Trick Room, kind of spam Rage Powder. Strength Sap is there just for like your really hard hitting physical mons that you're able to kind of Strength Sap down and get fully back to full health and kind of stall out over the duration. And Magigacha, which is there. It's good to get him for getting burns just for recovery. You also have the Hospitality there if you want to come in and heal anything up on your team, which is pretty good. I got the Iron Hands on this team. This thing actually went through a few variants. I changed this thing a few times already, mainly its item. Originally, I had Boost Energy for the Boost Energy attack boost. I scrapped that. I changed it to Clear Amulet. I think I'm going to keep it with Clear Amulet. The main problem I was having is people just coming in and Intimidate spamming me, especially teams that are running like double Intimidate with like either Salamence or there's a few other Intimidators, Landorus T and like Incineroar on the same team mainly. That would just keep switching out, like Parting Shotting out. Parting Shot plus like double Intimidate would just spam the Iron Hands down to pretty much doing no damage, and they were just able to easily stall out Trick Room because I was not doing any damage, and they were just kind of able to easily bring the game back at that point. So I threw the Clear Amulet on here just because now you're doing a set amount of damage. It has a really sky-high attack stat to begin with. It's max HP, max attack, minus, I think, the Brave Nature, minus Speed Nature. You get really solid recovery back with the Drain Punch. You got the Fake out there for priority to help you set up Trick Room in the early game. That type of thing, just really standard set. The Flutter Mane, or the Heavy Slam, just mainly for the Flutter Mane and that type of thing to get rid of those fairies. And then you got the Primarina on this team. I originally had Terra Water on this Primarina. The reason why I switched from Terra Water to Terra Grass is just mainly for Raging Bolt and a lot of other stuff, just as a defensive Terra. You're still doing a shit ton of damage, especially at +1 with a Throat Spray with Hyper Voice. With Liquid Voice gives you also another small buff to your damage. So I think having the defensive Grass Terra on there, especially against teams that have Rillaboom, one of the ways to beat Trick Room is just spam priority Grassy Glide and just kill the Primarina over and over again. So with Terra Grass, it shuts that shit down really quick, and you're just able to spam Moonblast and don't have to really worry about taking much damage from the Rillaboom type teams that just want to spam priority over and over. So that was kind of the main reason why I changed it to Terra Grass. This team had a few different iterations. I made a few different tweaks before I thought I was comfortable to actually start throwing up the rental code for you guys and doing a session with this team. I don't know how this team's really going to do because I was in the process of making this team a lot earlier. It's been in a while since I've actually put this team together already, or at least like in the process of like building the team until like I got into in-game recently, and I didn't really change too much from that time until now. So the meta has changed a lot since then, but I still think it can be a really solid team. At least from what I've played, I've tested a pretty solid amount already, and it seems to be doing pretty good. So if you guys want to use the team, rental code up in the corner. Let me know any feedback you guys find with the team, that type of thing. Mainly for leads with this team, you're gonna want to be running with a Trick Room setter usually for your lead. Either the Sinistcha or the Porygon 2. The Porygon 2 is the most common one, and then usually alongside either the Incineroar or the Iron Hands. Once in a great while, you'll run it alongside the Goodra. If the Goodra has a really solid matchup and like nothing that can really threaten it at all, then maybe you can. But the other thing you got to kind of look out with this as well is like taunt users. You kind of get shut down by like stuff like Tornadus and Thundurus, and a lot of Prankster taunt users are like more fast taunt users that prevent you from setting up Trick Room. Same with like Imprison, Trick Room type mons. I went against like a Imprison, Trick Room, Flutter Mane, and that completely shut down my entire team because I had to kill the Flutter Mane first, and they kind of prevented me from getting up Trick Room. And then at that point in the match, I was kind of behind, and I just wasn't able to bring the match back at that point. So kind of have some stuff to look out for going with this team. A few other things too. There's a few other like really hard hitting stuff. This team is kind of weak to Sun. You have answers to Sun as well, which you can kind of play around because a lot of the Sun teams are more fast, but especially the ones that are like really fast, they kind of bypass the setup, or they have manual Sun with like Torkoal or Ninetales, and they're just able to get the Sun up right away as they enter into the battle without having to waste a turn. Those are the teams that you kind of have to look out for because they're just able to hit with really hard stuff, mainly stuff like Walking Wake and that type of thing. Iron Boulder is also kind of a threat to this team. If you're not able to set up Trick Room, it kind of just destroys this team. It's really weak to a lot of stuff, so, or at least this team's really weak to that Mon. So that's another thing I kind of found out with this team just in testing over the last few days. Apart from that, let's hop into some games, and then we'll kind of talk about a little more in the matches. Alright, we're here with the game. My opponent has the Sun. This is what I was talking about a little bit ago with Sun teams. It's not like ability type Sun, but it is manual Sun with like Tornadus, and I'm assuming probably maybe something else on this team. Maybe it has manual Sun on the Walking Wake, I don't know, but he has the Incineroar, Landorus, Eye, which can be a little bit of a problem for this team. Tornadus, Metagross, Ogerpon, Water Form, and then Walking Wake. So I think the main problem here is if he has Taunt on the Tornadus. I think that's the main problem. So I think 100% he brings Tornadus here. I think he brings Tornadus. I think he brings the Landorus Eye, which is also really good versus me. Apart from out of Trick Room, it's really good, but under Trick Room it ain't bad, or it's kind of bad, but I also think he brings Walking Wake. It's pretty good, probably Incineroar. So I think what I do here, I'm going to lead Porygon. I want my Trick Room. I'm going to bring the Porygon. What else do I want to bring here? I think I'll bring the Incineroar lead. I think I'll bring the Primarina, and I'll bring the Iron Hands in the back. Looks pretty good here. The Iron Hands also has Terra Fire, so you're pretty weak to Landorus Eye. That's kind of the main problem. But like you shouldn't have to really worry about that because the Primarina shuts down like both Landorus forms if you're able to get it into Trick Room. So that's why I kind of just opted for Terra Fire, just mainly because the main check you're going to want to use it for is not like the Fairy types. It's like a defensive Terra. He actually leads Double Genie, so that's a big problem. I think if he actually just goes for like... Oh, he actually gets Sheer Force. That's cool. That's really cool. Sheer Force Tri-Attack. I don't know if that... See how much damage that does. I also have Ice Beam here, though. Like, do I even go for Trick Room on turn 1, or do I just Ice Beam? I'm not sure. I'm just going to Ice Beam. I'm just going to Ice Beam turn 1. I'll just Ice Beam. I'm just going to actually double into the Landorus here. If he protects, I'm going to be mad, but I just want to get rid of it because it's such a threat to me. I don't even care. He's going to taunt me, so that's perfect. That's perfect. I can get rid of this Delando. I'm going to have to take a shit ton of damage, though. Oh, he flinches. He's not Clover Cloak. Goodbye. That's huge. I'm fine. I'm fine with passing up Trick Room just to get rid of the Lando Eye. It's fine. That's such a threat versus my team, especially for the Iron Hands. Having that God now, it makes the match a lot better for that thing, so... the only shitty thing is, like, I don't have to wait to try to get out my Trick Room, and I have to try to play around the Walking Wake and Sun now, so that's kind of a problem. I don't know, I mean, I have Sheer Force boosted Ice Beam, too. I wonder how much damage that'll actually... This is why I have Trace on this thing. That's why I have Trace on Porygon. That's a great ability to Trace. I don't know how much a Tri-Attack will actually do to the Walking Wake here. I'm assuming he's just going to go for Sun. That's what I'm assuming he's going to try to do here. I don't think I actually... In the Sun, I don't think I actually live a Hydro Steam. But, like, the good thing is I actually have Primarina in the back, which kind of walls the shit out of Walking Wake too, which is kind of a natural check to Walking Wake. Can't really do much to you. Can't hit you with Dragon moves, and can hit you with Water moves, but, like, you still resist. And you're able to one-shot it back, so... I'm not really too scared of that. I just can't switch it in because it'll take too much damage, so I kind of have to let the Incineroar go down here. If I don't, though, I'm going to try to knock off because he's probably Life Orb. Oh, he actually has Rain Dance. That's actually even better for me, though. Like, he's boosting my Primarina for me, so that's fine. Let's see if I live. I don't live, though. I didn't think I was going to, especially if he's probably Life Orbed. So what does Tri-Attack does? I'm curious. That's Sheer Force boost, and that does nothing. I think I was better off going for Ice Beam for the super effective damage there. I have a few options. I can go into the Iron Hands here and just fake out the Walking Wake if I really want to. Or I can just go into the Pre-Marina on this turn, which I think I will. I'm going to force a Terra out of him here, though, because he's going to be forced to Terra here. He does not want to take a Moonblast, so I predict a Terra, so I'm probably going to protect here. I'm going to try to get rid of the Tornadus on this turn, and then I'm going to protect the Scout for a Terra. I think that's my play here. Usually they go Terra Water. I've seen a few Terra Steel ones, but I think Terra Steel is really bad. He's not even going to bother going for a Terra. He just wants the Porygon out of here. That is a lot of damage. This Porygon 2, I actually had a game where I actually tested this Porygon 2. And this Porygon 2 is so fucking bulky. From full health, I tanked an Overheat from a Chi-Yu and a Draco Meteor from a Raging Bolt on the same turn. With the Beads of Ruin active, they were both on the field at the same time. And I actually lived it on 5 health. That is how fucking bulky the Porygon 2 is. An Overheat from a Chi-Yu and a Draco from a Raging Bolt. That's crazy, on the same turn. And I still lived, and I was able to get my Trick Room up on the following turn. And I was able to recover up and stall them out to win one of the games I had recently for like a testing game. That is how fucking bulky Porygon 2 is. So, I think, what do I have here? He actually lives the Ice Beam. That's surprising. I'm no longer taunted, so he's going to probably taunt me here again. I'm just going to recover. I'm going to recover, and then I'm going to Moonblast here. Oh, he actually kills me. He actually kills me. That's fine, I guess. I don't really give a shit, though, because, like, as long as I'm able to one-shot the Walking Wake in return, which I should be able to, that does a lot of damage. Yeah, get out of here, bud. I can just come in and I can fake out the Tornadus on this next turn and make an auto 2v1. I also have Terra, depending on what his last mon actually is. We're going to find out right now. Oh, Metagross, that's perfect. Metagross is good. I don't know. It just depends if he outspeeds me, though, because both of my mons, you guys got to take into consideration, too. Like, Metagross, normally, I think Pre-Marina would probably outspeed Metagross, but, like, I'm running min speed and, like, really bad speed IVs on all these mons. I think apart from the Citrus Shot, that's a full IV one, but I couldn't find another one at the time, so I kind of used it anyways. It doesn't matter that much, but, like, you're going to still be getting outspeed, like, by a lot of these other slower mons that you would normally outspeed because it's a Trick Room team. So I'm just going to fake out here, get rid of the Tornadus, get it out of here, and then I'm going to protect to see what he wants to do. Goodbye. A Zen Headbutt's not going to one-shot me here, unless he's like Choice Banded. Heavy Slam, that's fine by me. It's completely fine. I can actually go Terra Grass here, too. So he's running Heavy Slam. That tells me he might not even have a Psychic-type move, apart from... He might actually have, I don't know. A lot of the Metagrosses are either running coverage, and they're just kind of bypassing a Psychic-type move because Dark types are so common right now. There's a lot of common Dark types like King Gambit and stuff running around. They're usually just running like double Steel move and like coverage, or like Protect and then a coverage move, so he might not even have one of those type of moves. I think I just go for Drain Punch here. I'll Drain Punch, and then I'm actually going to go for Terra Grass here. In the rain, a Hyper Voice should do a shit ton of damage to him. It's not a +1, but like, the Hyper Voice is still hitting a shit ton of damage. With Liquid Voice, it gets boosted. Oh, he does. He actually has Psychic Fangs. Surprising. I wish I would went to Terra Fire, actually. That would have been a little bit better. I mean, I think he still loses, though, because he can kill both mons here. Either he kills the Iron Hands, or he kills the Pre-Marina, and he dies on the same turn, so... I think the game's too far gone for him here, unfortunately. Yeah, there was actually a game I didn't even set up the Trick Room. I still won this match, and I was not even able to get up the Trick Room just because I played really well. That turn 1 getting rid of the Landorus Eye there was huge, because that thing is such a threat versus this team. If you guys let the Landorus Eye, especially if it's like a nasty plot variant, if you let it set up, it just sweeps this team. That's one thing if you guys do use this team to take into consideration. You gotta take Landorus Eye as a threat. He just surrenders, that's fine. Gotta take Landorus Eye as a threat. Unless you already have Trick Room up, then it's not really that big of a deal. Because a lot of stuff on this team can kind of deal with it, unless it goes like Terra Poison, but even then, it's kind of more of a frail mon. You're able to hit it for decent damage. But mainly it's out of Trick Room if it starts setting up on you. It can be a major problem, especially with like Sand Steer Storm. Like at +2, it kind of sweeps everything. So, solid first game though. I'll throw in, I don't know how many games I'll throw into this video for you guys, but I'll see you guys in another game. Alright, we're here with another game. My opponent has a really cool team. A really cool team. I like this team. He's running Pelipper, Flygon, Kingdra, Feraligatr. I think that's the first Feraligatr I've seen. There maybe was another game I went against it recently, but I might have forgot. I'm not 100% sure, but have not seen it at all. Amoonguss and Fluttermane. So he's running Rain. What I want to do here. I actually think the Sinistcha looks really good here, but at the same time, he doesn't really have much for Porygon 2 here. I don't think there's anything on his team that legit like one-shots Porygon 2 from full health. Unless he's like banded superpower from like maybe Feraligatr does, I'm not sure. But I think I just go into Porygon 2 here. I think that's my lead. Porygon 2, I'll lead with the Iron Hands, is also really solid in this game. Actually, I don't think I'll lead with it. I think I'll bring it in the back. I don't know if I'll lead with it. I think I'll actually bring the... I'll bring the Goodra here, is really solid. I'll bring the Iron Hands in the back. I think I'll bring the Primarine, just because if he wants to set up Rain under Trick Room, it outspeeds his entire team and one-shots almost everything. Apart from the Amoonguss, pretty much, or it just does a shit ton of damage to everything else. Cool team, though. Really cool team by my opponent. We're going to see how it goes. If you guys are enjoying the video, leave a like. Really appreciate it. Really helps out the videos. Tells me you guys are liking the videos, and I'll keep on bringing them you guys' way. Actually, it's Flygon Feraligatr. That's not what I expected as a lead. I thought he'd probably lead like a Amoonguss Pelipper to get the Rain up and try to put shit to sleep. Sheer Force is Trace for the second game in a row. That's cool. I mean, I just go for Trick Room here. I don't know what he has to one-shot me, unless he has... I think Flygon gets Taunt. So if he's like Taunt Flygon, that could be a bit of a problem. I think the main problem is, though, like if he doubles into the Goodra here, but even then, I don't know if it really does anything, because I'm Terra Water. I'm Terra Water, and like I have Dragon Pulse for you, bro. I think I just Terra Water turn 1 here. I know Feraligatr gets Superpower, it gets Water Move, it gets I think it gets Knockoff, Dragon Dance now. And I'm max defense too. I'm max HP, max defense. Like I'm full bulk. He's going for Fissure. Wow, what an asshole! Get him out of here. Get the Trick Room set up. Oh, it actually does a lot of damage. Sheer Force Boost actually does a lot of damage to Porygon. Way more than I thought it was going to. Get him out of here. Get the Trick Room up and get this thing out of here. I don't want to get one-shotted. That's scummy. Come on now, bro. That was almost a 2-hit KO, actually. I'm surprised how much damage that actually did. It's almost a 2-hit KO on me. I think that actually the Ice Beam would be a better option here. I'll go for Ice Beam. And then I just Dragon Pulse the Feraligatr here. I don't know what he has to one-shot me. I guess maybe with Helping Hand boost, he can maybe kill me with Liquidation now, actually. Maybe I should have recovered. Ice Beam, get out of here. Nice seeing Flygon, but I do not like going against Fissure. That shit's AIDS. I would have been mad if I would have died turn 1 to that. You're gonna go for... That does a lot of damage. Wow, that does a lot of damage. Feraligatr does this shit in damage. That's not even in the Rain either. That's without Rain. That's doing a fuck ton of damage. That has to be banded, actually, with how much damage it's probably doing. Yeah, that or it's Life Orb. I'm not 100% sure, but like with that amount of damage, he might be banded. Because I'm in full HP and max defense on this Goodra, and I'm also Terra Water. And he did that much damage to me. That's crazy. I don't know. I mean, he's gonna start putting shit to sleep here. I think I just double into the Feraligatr and get it out of here. I think that's what I do here. I think he's banded. I don't think he's actually going to be able to protect here. If he protects, that's going to be really bad. Gonna Terra, I don't care. Go ahead and Terra into a Terra Water type, that's fine. I got Iron Hands in the back, so that just allows me to hit you for super effective damage now, so that's great. Thanks, bro. But he actually outspeeds me, that's huge. He must be running min speed. He's running no speed for some reason, I guess. He might actually be able to get rid of the Porygon here, just because he outspeeds me and he's able to just put me to sleep. That sucks. I'm not going to be able to get my Trick Room up, because I'm down to... I think I'm down to like 2 turns, ain't I? I'm down to 2 turns. That's kind of bad. Considering, though, like, that the Amoonguss outsped the Goodra and the Porygon, that means my Iron Hands will outspeed out of Trick Room and be able to one-shot the Amoonguss, though. So that's what I have going for me. So that's good to know. If I live, I'll try to recover, but I think he's going to try to spam sleep on me here. And then I'm going to go for Dragon Pulse to get rid of the Feraligatr. He has Rage Powder, it's fine. As long as I'm able to recover. I actually get a turn 1 wake up too. It sucks to be you, bro. Dragon Pulse does nothing though. I wish I would have went for Muddy Water, would have been better there, but... Keep the Porygon around, that's the main thing. Does a lot of damage. Does so much damage. I just keep spamming Recover. I'm going to spam Recover, and then I'm going to go for Muddy Water on this turn. He's going to... So he's not banded. He's not banded. And try to put me to sleep now. I was hoping a Muddy Water would do a decent chip to him. That way it'd be like a 2-hit KO. I'd be able to just Muddy Water 2 turns and get rid of the Feraligatr, but... I do get the accuracy drops, that's good. He won't be able to land as many spores. Or at least it'll take more skill to land Spore. You just can't click and expect to go to sleep right away. So I'm going to try to go for Trick Room here. If I can somehow get a first turn wake up at least, I'm going to try to Trick Room. I don't think I'm going to get Trick Room up anymore this game though. And then... I don't know, unless he puts the Goodra to sleep here, but like I don't think he will because he outsped me in Trick Room, so like I don't think he's going to actually outspeed me out of Trick Room. I'm able to get rid of the Feraligatr here. It just depends on his last Mon is the main thing here. I get rid of the Feraligatr. I actually put in a lot of work. I'll admit the Feraligatr put in a shit ton of work this game. Did a way more damage than I thought it was going to, and it's not even in the rain. It's just sitting here doing damage. Hands here. Oh, he has Flutter Mane. That's bad. That's bad. I think I can still win, though. I can still win as long as I'm able to make this a 1v3. He's actually even plus special attack. That probably actually one-shots me. That probably actually one-shots me. The question is here, though, does he go for Rage Powder on this turn? I think he probably does. I think he goes for Rage Powder. I think I'm actually just better off trying to get rid of the Amoonguss. And then if I somehow wake up, I can get an Acid Spray off on the Flutter Mane. Oh, he actually just one-shots me. He just straight up one-shots me. That's bad, actually. I'm still asleep. Just gonna sit and spam Spore. That's what he's gonna do, just sit and spam Spore the entire game. He might actually win now, actually. He might actually win. I fucking hate Amoonguss. I hate Amoonguss so bad. I know, considering he's also a plus special attack boost, I don't even know if I actually live one. I can maybe barely live a a +1 Moonblast from him. But like even if he's like if I live, like I think I'm still getting put to sleep. So and I can't one-shot anything on his team here, unless I just double into the Amoonguss. I don't know. I guess if that's one way I can maybe try to win here, but if I happen to wake up on this turn, that is, I can eat that. That's a twit KO. That's fine by me. I actually kill the Amoonguss with Energy Ball. I did not expect to get a kill. This game's crazy. This is a crazy match. So now I brought it down to the 2v1. If I can wake up here, of course, the one turn I click Dragon Pulse, I wake up. I didn't think I was going to wake up. Wow, that's a missed opportunity. I could have got an Acid Spray off and I would have lowered his stats. I'm actually going to protect here. I'm going to protect the... Actually, it doesn't pay protecting here. It does not pay protecting at all. I think what I do here is I Hyper Voice. That way I get my +1 boost. If he goes after the Goodra, I get a free +1 boost from the Throat Spray. If he goes after the Primarina, then I'm able to just get a super effective Flash Cannon off. See if I can tank this. I tank it pretty well. That does half. I think a Flash Cannon from this range kills. What a match. What a game. What a game. Yeah, it does kill, so what a match. Goodra putting in the work. Really solid showcase for the Goodra. The guy was standing there the entire game. One of the last things standing, holding down the game for us. Really solid match. What a crazy game. He went from almost winning the game there to having the Energy Ball kill, which I did not think was going to kill from that range. Unless he was running defensive Amoonguss, which could probably have been the case. It actually ended up killing him, then we ended up bringing the game back based off of that, so what a match. I don't know how many games I'm going to throw in this video for you guys, but we'll see if I throw one more in this video or if we just talk about the team a little bit, but I'll see you guys whatever else happens. We'll see you. As for this team, if you guys want to use this team, let me know how you guys do and if you guys have any feedback for this team. I do think, at least for like a Trick Room team, usually I don't build like that many Trick Room teams, but I do think this one is pretty damn solid. But I think the main reason why is just because Porygon 2 is just so fucking good. I think alongside like Cresselia, I think Porygon 2 and Cresselia are still probably the best like 2 Trick Room setters in the game. There's a bunch of other Trick Room setters that are also really common right now, but like in terms of like reliability, like just being able to get up Trick Room, like no matter what, I think they're the 2 best ones with how bulky they are and like the tools they have. So really solid team. If you guys want to use it, let me know how you guys do. I got a bunch more stuff on the way as well, at least regarding teams. At least when you guys are seeing this, or at least when I'm recording this. I don't know when you guys will see this. But I actually have a team that I'm making around Blaziken. And then I have another team that's like in the really early stages of just kind of being built around Raging Bolt. And then I also want to make an entire singles team of Smeargle. I think that'd be really cool, like 6 Smeargles for singles. And just like to go on the casual ladder for that type of thing and just like kind of troll people with Smeargle and see if I can actually get wins with like an entire team of Smeargles. I think that'd be kind of cool. With like a bunch of really other like crazy move sets or like strategy with Smeargle. I'm still kind of in the processing like building of that as well. I have some ideas, but I haven't really built anything in game, or it's really difficult to test that on Showdown too, because I think Smeargle's in like UU tier, and a lot of the shit on Showdown, at least for Smogon, is fucking banned. Like, you can't use Moody Smeargle on the singles ladder on Showdown at all, unless you use it in, like, Anything Goes, which makes no sense to even bother trying it then. So, like, you can't use Moody, which involves a lot of your strategy around that ability. You can't use Baton Pass. You can't use one-shot moves and a bunch of other fucking random rules that make Smogon fucking garbage. So, I don't know how I'm going to really even test that team, but that's something I do want to make. Let me know if you guys want to see that in the future as well, just to gauge some interest. If you guys want to see that, let me know in the comments down below. I think that'd be kind of cool to make. Not like a VGC team, but like a full-on, like, 6v6 singles team, like, of all 6 Smeargles, with, like, a bunch of different movesets to try to win in, like, a singles match. I think that'd be really cool. With, like, different Terra types and, like, different builds for each one. I don't know how the EVs really matter that much. Apart from that, back to the team. Hope you guys enjoy the team. I did put a lot of work into actually, like, kind of testing this team. This team went through a few different iterations, a lot of like little minor mate type changes over the last few days, and I think I got it to the point where I think it's really solid. So hopefully you guys have fun with it. This is probably going to be one of my Trick Room teams. I'm going to try to use this on the Regulation F ladder and see how good it does. We still have like another 2 weeks before the Regulation F drops, at least officially on the in-game ladder, so I don't know how much it's really going to change till then, because the meta is really changing a lot right now, and it's really difficult to make like an actual team for more than like a week before you have to like change like a bunch of stuff on it to like counter stuff that's being played, and vice versa. So otherwise you have like really huge holes in your team that can kind of just be exploited very easily. So, but apart from that, hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys want to use this team as well, if you guys are, I know there's a lot of other VGC people on the team, just tag me in the description or link my channel and give me some feedback. It's completely fine. I know there's been a few people that have actually been featuring my teams on the channel, so I appreciate it. Those of you guys have been featuring some of my other past teams. That's kind of cool. I think somebody's featured my Sand team, and there's another one that featured my team around Raikou and Scrafty, which is kind of cool. So apart from that, I'm going to get out of here. Thanks for watching, everybody. Peace out. I'll see you guys in a future video.